This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Bikers beware. I'm Stephanie Wade with important safety concerns you need to be aware of with the new Indigo Red Line and new signage on the roads.
I'm Nicole Griffin tonight in Canby, where there is growing concern about crime. The call to action neighbors are now sharing after a recent theft was caught on camera.
The Indiana Department of Homeland Security wants to help your child's school build a tornado shelter. On Call 6 Investigates, Kara Kenny will tell you how.
We begin now at 6 with a safety alert as we get set for the opening of the new Indigo Red Line on September 1st. It's not just drivers who have to be on alert, but bicyclists too.
RTV6 noticed a dangerous situation where drivers are running the bike stoplight to turn left to get onto I-65 downtown. Our Stephanie Wade shows you what to watch out for so you don't get hurt.
This is the problem here. The turning lane has a red light, but the bike lane is green. And what we're finding is drivers see the green and assume they can go.
The infrastructure is adapting quicker than the people that are using it.
It can be confusing as you're trying to turn onto I-65 from Illinois Street downtown. Indigo added a designated bike lane on Illinois since they took one away on Capitol to make way for the new red line.
I know a lot of people are kind of freaked out by the bike lanes in addition to the red line, but I'm on board for rapid transit and these alternative modes of transportation.
One issue we found is drivers turning when they're not supposed to. You can see 3 cars turning on this red arrow.
I thought it was neat that the stoplight there has a bicycle on it, but I was a little cautious. I thought, okay, do they have a red light? Or, because I saw that I had a green bicycle, but I didn't know if the traffic stopped for them.
As we all adjust to the new ways of travel on the roads, bicyclists encourage you.
Try to make eye contact with each other on your commute so you're seeing each other as people and not just objects in the way of each other.
For now.
Yeah, it's going to take some getting used to.
Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Thanks, Steph, for taking a look at that. And Indigo encourages all those using the road to be aware of new pavement markings and lane configurations. You can also go online to indigored.com for more information.
RTV6 is working for you tonight with a call to action after this license plate theft that you see here in Heartland Crossing caught on camera during a busy time of the morning. RTV6's Nicole Griffin is talking to people who live in the area who are not only concerned about this crime, but also other recent crimes in that area.
The most recent license plate theft all caught on this camera on the front of a home. It happened just Thursday morning here on Delphi Drive in Canby.
I was shocked that they're doing it in the daylight.
It all happens in less than a minute. A black car pulls up. A man with a red shirt gets out. He then uses a tool to steal the license plate off a vehicle. Robert Burris says the vehicle was his neighbor's. He caught the entire theft on his home security camera.
Not a good thing to happen, especially if the police had happened upon him. He could have had a car chase around here with school buses and children.
It's really been a lot worse this summer.
Erin Kidwell has lived in the Colony subdivision at Heartland Crossing for 2 years. She thinks crime is getting worse and wants police to step up patrols.
Alpha Security is supposed to be looking out for Heartland Crossing, and they are really, I've never seen them do anything other than tag cars after 9:30 p.m.
Canby is also in IMPD's patrol area. In the last month, they've responded to 17 calls for thefts and property crimes. We've reached out to both Metro Police and Alpha Security to share concerns residents have. Working for you in Canby, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
License plate thefts are more common than you may think. In just the last week, IMPD has responded to more than 20 calls for license plate thefts in the metro area. If you recognize the suspect in the video, contact Crime Stoppers. The number 317-262-TIPS.
Now we want to give you a live look outside, paired with some really great video from our RTV6 Skycam 6 drone. That's the Cityway mural there. You can see lots of clouds across central Indiana today. So we want to get it over to Storm Team 6's Kyle Mounts to see if we have any rain to start the weekend. Kyle.
And Amanda, I would say that rain chance tonight is very small. As you can see on Storm Team 6 radar, things are nice and quiet. There's been one little shower there north of our area that's popped up in northeastern portions of Illinois. But for us, I would say that rain chance is less than 20% this evening. We do continue with the clouds, and you can see a little bigger view here. Even a few more showers in Illinois trying to get going, but they fall apart pretty quickly. With those clouds, we got 81 degrees. The humidity continuing to come up even this evening. It's now at 62% with that dew point into the middle and upper 60s for us, and a south breeze at about 10 miles per hour. 82 in Peru and Muncie, but check out Louisville coming in at 90 degrees, and we are going to get in on some 90-degree heat this evening. Temperatures will be slow to cool as well because of that cloud cover around and south breeze. 77 for you at 10 o'clock, mostly cloudy, 75 at 11. We'll talk about some rain chances to start off the weekend here when that 90-degree heat will get in, and more humidity on the way as well.
All right, thanks, Kyle. Call 6 investigation into tornado safety in your child's classroom is getting more traction tonight from the State House. Our Kara Kenny found Indiana has no laws in place requiring schools to have tornado shelters. Now, several state lawmakers are looking at changing that. Kara joins us now with how this could impact your children.
Since our story aired last month about tornado shelters in schools, the Indiana Department of Homeland Security has received several phone calls from schools interested in building a shelter. Now state lawmakers are looking for ways to help schools pay for them.
Schools can apply for FEMA funding to build their own tornado safe room like this one in Salem, but they have to come up with a 25% match. That can run in the hundreds of thousands to more than $1 million. Eddie Melton is a state senator from Gary and is looking for ways to help fund tornado shelter projects.
I'm sure that if we were able to invest in making sure that the programs were in place where we can help support local school corporations with local dollars to match to go along with these federal programs, that would be of extreme help.
Homeland Security says Indiana is at high risk for tornadoes, meaning our schools have been hit and more will be damaged by tornadoes. Despite these risks, Indiana has no laws or building codes in place requiring schools to have tornado shelters. Our neighboring states have rules requiring shelters in newly constructed schools. Melton says Indiana should too, and he's considering legislation.
And we don't have that policy intact. We should be able to implement that in the next session.
Tornado shelters offer a lot more protection for students than just hunkering down in a hallway. Adding a tornado shelter to a new building adds about 5% to the cost of the school. So say a new school costs $35 million. That would mean adding 5% to the cost of the building would be about $1.8 million. Aaron Houchin is a state senator from Salem, home to a tornado safe room.
I could see that we might want to consider on new construction whether to add that as a requirement, particularly with the federal funding that we know is available. But I'm a little hesitant on creating a mandate that schools can't afford and really want those decisions to be guided by local communities.
Both Melton and Representative Randy Fry are looking for ways to help schools pay for tornado shelters.
It could be that existing money could be channeled in that direction. We do provide money annually for school safety, and this is certainly school safety.
If schools want to apply for a FEMA grant to build a tornado shelter, the application cycle opens on October 1st. The Indiana Department of Homeland Security says they're here to help schools through the application process. Working for you in Indianapolis, I'm Call 6 Investigates, Kara Kenny.
Thanks, Kara. And working for you, RTV6 continues to push for answers to issues that matter to you.
We are keeping track of problems addressed thanks to your concerns. An apartment complex on the northeast side is being sued by the health department for not cleaning up its act. A former resident reached out to RTV6. She says management never fixed problems, including mold and infestations. The health department gave New Parkwoods Apartments until Thursday to fix several violations. Well, they missed that deadline, and now we're waiting to learn when the case will be heard in court.
Indy Parks told RTV6 an issue at Paul Rester Dog Park on the east side would be fixed by today. And sure enough, a magnetic lock on the park's gate is working again. Paying members of the park told us the lock was malfunctioning for months.
In the Castleton Farms neighborhood, the weather cooperated and the Department of Public Works was able to clean up a fish kill caused by a dredging project. Residents had to deal for days with a strong smell from all the dead fish. DPW emptied the water from this pond to work on the ongoing drainage problem. That led to the fish kill. We went out there today and the water and the smell has cleared out.
And in Broad Ripple, Indigo says it's making changes to new barriers put in place at a busy intersection for the Red Line project. RTV6 spotted larger vehicles driving up onto a curb at College Avenue and Broad Ripple Avenue to avoid hitting new pole dividers. Even the Red Line buses hit the barriers trying to get into their lane. Indigo and DPW initially said they would monitor the problem over the next few months, but Indigo says it's already directing its crews to move the dividers. We will let you know when that happens.
The Indianapolis International Airport is adding more parking spaces. The Airport Authority Board today gave approval for the project that will add 1,500 spaces to the main parking structure. This is the one that's connected to the terminal there. Each of the garage's 5 floors will be expanded. 500 of the new spaces will be for the public and 1,000 for rental cars. The parking expansion project is tentatively scheduled to be done by mid-2021. Still ahead here on the news at 6, regulating a Carmel tradition.
Saving your spot days before the Carmel 4th of July parade could become a thing of the past. What city leaders are considering coming up.
Their time in Westfield is behind them. Another preseason game ahead of them. What's in store for the Colts? Coming up in sports, we look ahead to their weekend at home.
And get ready for more heat and humidity. The heat index going to be into the middle 90s by Sunday afternoon. I'll let you know how long this hot weather is going to last. You're watching RTV6 News at 6.
You can't fake steak. This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Indiana's employment picture is showing improvement. The unemployment rate dipped slightly in July from the previous month. The Department of Workforce Development reported today that the July rate was 3.4%, down from 3.5% in June. Our rate is by far the lowest of our 4 neighboring states that range from 4% unemployment to 4.3%. We're also below the national average. And our Hiring Hoosiers initiative puts the focus on jobs, training, and resources to help you find the job that's right for you. A new partnership with the University of Indianapolis is creating a custom talent pipeline of biomedical equipment technicians for Roche Diagnostics through the newly created Roche Academy. The Academy provides real-world training and customized coursework to create industry-ready grads for high-demand jobs at the Indianapolis company. Indy biology and chemistry students can apply for the program their junior year. Students will complete a Roche customized curriculum path and summer internship focused on the hands-on life science and engineering skills necessary for employment at Roche.
The nice thing is the space we're operating within on the degree is actually a standard degree. We're not asking them to take anything that is unique that would make them, should they decide to take a different path, there's nothing unique about the degree in biology or chemistry that's going to preclude them from anything that they want to use that for.
The students are working toward a job offer from Roche Diagnostics to begin working at the company as soon as they graduate. For more info on Roche Academy at UIndy, go to hiringhoosiers.com.
Leaders in Carmel are moving forward with a proposal to regulate when you can claim your spot for a parade. This is the result of a long-held tradition of people saving their spot along the route of the Carmel 4th of July parade by putting out chairs, blankets, tents, and more well ahead of the actual parade. Well, this year, the city council president told us it was as early as June 22nd. On Monday, the Carmel City Council will consider an ordinance to limit staking your claim within a city right-of-way on a parade route until 6 a.m. the day before the parade. This is due to mowing property damage and visual blight concerns. The ordinance would allow for the city to impound any property set out before that time. This will be the first reading of the proposal. That meeting starts at 6 o'clock. The city of Indianapolis is getting some help to address its backlog of animal neglect and abuse complaints. Friends of Indianapolis Dogs Outside, or FIDO, has signed a formal agreement with the Indianapolis Animal Care Services. The nonprofit will do follow-up visits to homes where pet owners have been cited for care and treatment violations. They'll also help with supplies and resources. FIDO will take 10 to 15 cases a week, including reports of dogs kept outside or running at large. Tomorrow is National Clear the Shelters Day, and both Indianapolis Animal Care Services and the Humane Society for Hamilton County are participating in this. These are some of the animals at the Hamilton County shelter that you're seeing. In Hamilton County, adoption fees will be waived for most animals, but there will still be a $10 processing fee. Some animals are excluded, and kittens will still be $75. They'll be open from 9 to 5. And here's a look at just a few of the dogs and cats available at IACS. Adoptions are free again tomorrow and Sunday at IACS. IACS is full, and they're doing what they can to help deserving pets find good homes. 27 pets were adopted yesterday through this free event. Hours this weekend are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The facility is located at 2600 South Harding.
So many cuties there up for adoption, and check out this dynamic duo. Ready, set, go. They are ready for that evening walk and heading into the weekend. If you are heading out for walking the dog this evening, got some nice weather out there. Even though we'll have the clouds around, we should be dry most locations. Temperatures in the middle 70s for you by the time we reach 10 o'clock tonight. As far as Storm Team 6 radar, again, things are fairly quiet. Actually seeing a little more sunshine returning for some southern areas this evening. We've had one little shower that's popped up here, so we'll continue to watch this, but again, our rain chance less than 10% here as we go through the next several hours. We do still have quite a bit of cloud cover out there, though, over Indianapolis with a temperature of 81 degrees, upper 70s for you right now in Kokomo. It's 84, though, in Bloomington and Muncie at 82. A little bit of a south breeze today. May have noticed that humidity came back a little bit, and it's really going to start to ramp up here the second half of our weekend as things are going to feel pretty tropical out there. But with the humidity and the clouds around, temperatures tonight settling back into the upper 60s. I don't think we'll have any fog that we'll have to worry about in the morning, because instead, yeah, you see quite a bit of thunderstorm activity here in the first half of our Saturday forecast. We'll have some scattered showers and thunderstorms. That will keep our temperatures in the lower half of the 70s. As we go into the afternoon, though, our weather improves for your Saturday, and temperatures will recover into the lower and middle 80s for that afternoon high. So let's take a look at that timeline with TrueCast here on your rainfall. 8:30 Saturday morning, we have clouds, but really the rain is still mainly in Illinois. It will continue to stream to the east, though, as we get to noon tomorrow. Fairly soggy, some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Going to have some locally heavy rain in a few of those. I don't think we're going to have to deal with any severe weather as we go throughout the Saturday. 81 degrees will be your high in Kokomo and Frankfort, 83 in Rockville and Newcastle, also at 83 degrees. These are numbers that are right about average for this time of year. A little warmer for you in Bedford and Seymour, though, at 87 degrees. And the second half of the weekend, we're all going to get a little bit warmer with partly sunny to mostly cloudy skies. Lower rain chances here, and that will allow temperatures already to get into the lower 80s before noon on Sunday. And then as we go into the afternoon, look at that, right around 90 degrees. We talked about the heat index on Sunday. At times, we'll be into the middle 90s and just about a 30% chance for some rain. Here's TrueCast. This is Sunday at 10 a.m. We've got clouds. There comes a few of those showers and storms. It should continue to kind of weaken and fall apart, though, as it makes its way to the east. So all in all, yeah, we've still got a lot of dry time in this weekend forecast, especially Saturday afternoon and much of Sunday, with highs that are going to stay in the lower 90s here right into early next week. Just a spotty shower or storm Monday and Tuesday. A little better chance on Wednesday. That brings in a big change. Instead of talking about highs around 90, they're around 80 degrees on Thursday and Friday.
That's more comfortable, huh?
That's going to feel a lot better.
I think a lot of people are hoping that if we have any rain tomorrow, it settles down for an open roof Colts game. That would be pretty nice.
We can only hope, right, Brad?
Check the timing on that. We shall see when that gets here. Good evening, everyone. What did we learn during the Colts' 3 weeks of training camp? They've got a lot of talented receivers, more speed on the defense, and we learned way more about small bones in and around the calf than anyone in sports media should ever need. But we got a good look at several players as well that will be battling for the final few roster spots over these next 2 weeks. Much the same for the Browns here this week, and that will be the case again in tomorrow's preseason game at Lucas Oil Stadium. Sounds like the main starters will play the first quarter, and that's about it. Colts coach Frank Reich talked after Thursday's practice and agreed there's still some work to do.
You know, I thought offensively we finished strong. We had some pretty shaky moments in the middle from a protection standpoint. You know, it was really disappointing in the sense of, you know, we led the league last year in fewest sacks and all that stuff. And so to come out here and not handle the pressure the way they brought it, we got to learn from that.
Wide receiver Darius Fountain has gone on injured reserve. He had surgery on his ankle earlier today. A nasty injury during Thursday's practice session. An unfortunate end to camp for a talented second-year player. Fountain had shown really well. His talents up in Westfield and very well may have earned a roster spot this season. Tomorrow's game, by the way, a 4 p.m. kick at Lucas Oil Stadium. Roof open, perhaps, so that remains to be seen. We'll see how the weather works out. Colts will have a pretty standard week of practice coming up as the Bears play here next Saturday night. There are 4 races left on the IndyCar Series schedule. This Sunday, it's Pocono, often a turning point in the championship race. Right now, 4 drivers are in strong contention. Last year saw Alexander Rossi with one of his strongest races of 2018 getting the win. He nearly lapped the field by the end of it, won by more than 4.5 seconds. That race, of course, was marred by the horrible accident involving Robert Wickens, and surely that'll be part of the conversation this weekend as well. Rossi trailing Joseph Newgarden by just 16 points heading into this weekend. Simon Pagenaud and Scott Dixon are not so far behind. There's a bit of a gap from there. Practice and qualifying are all on Saturday, then the race on Sunday. Dave First is out east for us. We will hear from him tonight on the news at 11. The Fever have had the entire week to get some work done. It'll be 8 days between games by the time they play Sunday at Washington. The Fever are back home Tuesday night. They've got a 7 o'clock tip-off at Bankers Life Fieldhouse when they face the New York Liberty.
Talk to me. I see it. Luke, weak. Good.
Pacers forward Miles Turner wearing the red, white, and blue this summer. He's on the Team USA roster for the World Championships. They have an exhibition game against Spain tonight out in Los Angeles. That'll wrap up training camp. The World Championships start at the end of the month. They are playing in China. And the Indians are home this weekend. Tomorrow night, they'll be wearing a special edition Paw Patrol jersey during batting practice. Showing those off today with the kids at Riley Children's Hospital. Proceeds from Saturday's jersey auction will benefit the Ronald McDonald Children's Charities and the Ronald McDonald House. Neat stuff there. Doubleheader tonight. They're just getting started with the first of 2 games. 7:05 game tomorrow, 1:35 game on Sunday afternoon at Victory Field. Time for another break. Back to wrap up tonight's news at 6 next.
Lower our drug prices now.
All right, time to get the weekend started. And we do have that chance again for some thunderstorms, primarily the first half of our Saturday. After that, the sun will come out and temperatures will recover into the middle 80s. Then with some lower rain chances on Sunday, 90 for the afternoon high. It will be a steamy day there with that 30% chance of rain. 7-day planning forecast will keep the heat going Monday and Tuesday. Highs around 90. Feeling a little bit better by the end of the week.
Get ready for that heat spell out there, right?
Ooh, it's going to be hot.
All right. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock.
Have a good evening. Good night.